Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. We're here and we're all like actually pretty much on time, which is like isn't that neat? It does happen. Um, so welcome. Yeah, so this is live from the apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content in the forms of streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, and progressive causes. We are currently raising money for the Doctors Without Borders, who are providing critical care and disaster relief around the globe, particularly in Palestine and Ukraine. And we ask if you'd like what you see here, you take $5, $10, whatever you can spare, no expectation, and donate it directly to Doctors Without Borders instead of giving it to us. The donate button is right where the subscribe button would ordinarily be. I don't know where it is. I'm just going to point everywhere, and somebody who knows better than me can point to where it actually is on your screen, or not. That's also fine. And by clicking that, it's ordinarily right where the subscribe button would be, and by clicking it, you can make the McElroy's brothers yell at us and interrupt whatever dramatic and important scene is going on at the time. This channel does have some donation incentives. A $15 donation will allow you to give a player of your choice +1 forward. A $20 donation will allow you to give a player of your choice -1. It costs you more to be nasty. And if you donate $25, you can force me, your poor GM, to run the game in a silly voice for 60 seconds. You won't find a deal like that anywhere else. Now, just to let everybody know, we have actually reached our Doctors Without Borders goal. We've added onto it since we are currently looking for our next donation beneficiary, what charity we're going to go with. And once we have that, we will do a little announcement thingy. Yay! With all of that out of the way, let us introduce our players. Amber, that's you first.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I am a 3-time Emmy nominated and 1-time Emmy winning TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer who's currently on a break. I am coming to you playing Imogen Warwick, the scholar, who has no powers to speak of and no longer a German brain and a robot to speak of either. Oh, that's probably for the best. Imogen's pronouns are they, she. My pronouns are she, they. And let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. You could always get the brain in the jar back. You do know where you left it.
Yeah, that's like leaving Drinky Buddy at like one of the settlements on Fallout 4, and you're like, you know what? I am gonna go back and get an ice cold, Boston brew, but not right now.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Have a sip from the brain in the jar. It's fine. Bedlam.
Hello. I'm Bedlam. I'm playing Jerome Neers, a tainted who is I think 14 years old, right? He's tall and corrupted. Now, he is kind of working with the Coven, kind of working for the demons, but not in that bad sense. They're actually, they're a bunch of good guys. They're fine. They're cool. Anyway, we're gonna see how all that pans out as we are up against some sort of I don't know, angelic resistance perhaps right now. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, that's where we are.
Okay. And Brendan.
Hey, that is me. Hi, everybody. I am Brendan, pronouns he, him, and tonight I'll be playing Sefer, pronouns they, them. Teenage Frankenstein Thembo in a V2 rocket in a trench coat, homunculus electronic, teenage goober, really, really just kind of going through it, and info dumping on everyone at all times.
It's beautiful. Sefer's info dumping about trains to his evil uncle to their evil uncle was one of the best things I have ever seen. JD, last but not least.
Hey, I am JD. Incidentally, I could not find this while Della was looking for it, but the subscribe button, by which I mean the donate button, literally right below me. So that is where it is. That is where you can find it. My pronouns are he, they, and I am playing Saint Soren Augustine, pronouns he, him, the Revenant. And we're having a normal one. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not upping our kill count every single session. We're not looking to continue to add to that number. Who knows? Maybe we'll get into the double digits. Maybe we have already. I guess we'll find out.
Did you kill anyone last episode?
Tragically, no.
I don't think you guys killed anybody.
Tragic.
Tragically.
Tragically.
Truly
You guys,
tragic.
you guys did leave the place that was about to be a war zone, though.
We did. Correct.
That is true. That is true.
The
But
fact
it was,
that this game,
we want to save Penny though. So
It's true.
this game is that quote from Heather's "Dear Diary, my teenage angst is a body count."
Mm-hmm.
You are correct.
that is Saint
Let's
Soren.
embody that in our last, in our final episodes of season 2.
I was thinking that as I was sort of listening to last session and thinking about some of the other sessions, that I'm kind of running like high school angst as written by Guillermo del Toro, which is goals, man. I would have liked high school much better. Anyway, hi, I'm Della Collins. Pronouns she, her. I'll be playing everybody else. Pronouns, all of them. Where we left off, we were in the basement of the hospital, the Howard County General Hospital. Way down below, down a secret elevator that you guys convinced you didn't have a key card, but you told the elevator you did. And it took you down to the basement level. All along the way, you were feeling this resistance, this psychic, not just below compulsion, this psychic, do not come here energy. Some of you were better able to resist it than others. Sefer had then a conversation with the entity below the cathedral. Some of you, I believe, Imogen was given a name for this entity, which was Nerylnine, the angel of location and locality and transportation. Associated very much with the miraculous healing powers of Saint Aoife Greenlee, the Irish saint and Soren's pen pal. You guys are down here because the comatose body of your friend Penny has gone missing, and her parents would very much like to know where it is. Since your interaction with the presence, Sefer, the that compulsion has disappeared, and now I am going to roll this die to determine which one of you is going to speak next. All of these scenes, by the way, are happening essentially at the same time. So while I'm running these scenes with each one of you, you're going through this event yourself. So let's see. Amber, you're going to be 1 and 2, Bedlam 3 and 4, JD 5 and 6. Amber, it's you.
Great.
Imogen, what? And I know this is tough because going first is always tough in this kind of circumstance, but you're down in this basement. Yesterday, you saw some people get shot. You saw your friend get shot. You saw Soren get shot and keep moving. But you know what? He's a saint. Weird stuff happens to saints. And you went to school the next. You trapped a brain in a jar. You convinced a German brain in a jar to stop shooting at your friends and come with you to the library where you abandoned it. And for all you know, he's still rolling around in his little tank treads, being in a jar. You went to school the next day. And then you went to Snake Church to meet your friends. And now you're here with
Totally
this
normal one.
having a very normal one. Your father has always questioned the divine. Your uncle, you now know, was murdered. Maybe murdered by someone in Jerome's church. What is going through Imogen's mind right now? What are they feeling right now?
God gives his most complicated battles to his most powerful warriors. Um, but Imogen Warwick did not ask to be anyone's warrior. She just wants to be at home. But for some reason, she's been deemed important enough and, she's been dealt this hand of fate to be involved in whatever mass conspiracy and whatever the hell's going on in the church lately. And there's a certain kind of like second wind you get, right? When you realize that what needs to be done can only be done by you. And um it's not going to be done right unless it's done by you. And so that's what's been pushing Imogen and motivating Imogen for these past 36, 72 hours, whatever the hell, to keep going, because she knows if they stop, like, it's not, she's not going to be able to get back up. So they keep going and they keep pushing, and they know everything's getting weirder and weirder and more intense and more insidious and just more wrong. But the further that they dig, they know at the core of it all, they're going to find the truth and they're going to find what's right. So, all of that to say, shit's fucked,
Yeah.
but Imogen's here to make the best of it.
As you are here, you feel this powerful presence, this powerful feeling. Unlike Sefer, you you don't have you don't have a shem. You have a soul. You have a normal human soul, right?
Mhm.
You don't have a thing that is weirdly drawing power from this source without being part of it. You are depending on how you feel about Boethius, you might be a part of God in and of yourself. Uh, depending on, again, how you feel about Boethius, Augustine, you know, those sorts of guys. I think Augustine did not agree with Boethius's theories of divinity. Brendan's giving me a look like I know those names. Uh,
In fairness, like, I know them, I could not quote them off the top of my head. I'm not quite that esoteric.
yeah,
So
yeah. Uh, it's been a long time since early modern lit. Um, the You can't remember. Last episode, did you guys confirm with one another that this was angelic in nature? That this presence was
I
angelic?
believe so.
Yes,
I
we
believe so. Okay.
did.
You feel this presence of the divine. You know it to be an angel, but what that means, you don't really know. You don't know what this thing has done with Penny. You don't know if this thing has Penny. You don't know what's going on here. How do you want to reach out and find out? What is what do you feel like? How are you trying to understand this? And
So
I'm going to tell you right now, there is a single the only thing that is not going to help you here. And I think, well, I will tell you right now, if you roll anything other than mind, you will get to roll 3 and take the highest 2. If you roll mind, you have to roll just 2. And that's going to be true for everybody here.
if
But
there's
I know
anything
mind
in
is your highest stat.
it is. If there's anything in this world that motivates and pushes Imogen further, it's the pursuit of knowledge and the pursuit of that truth. But I think sorry, I'm like at war with myself.
Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me,
Yeah,
talk us through it. Talk us through it.
because because Imogen normally would just be like, yeah, let's dig through the annals of one's mind and see what I've all like gathered and retained from my experience as a like research assistant in, the archives and learning all of this about, angels and what divinity has to offer. And yet there's something tugging at Imogen's heartstrings that says that leading with the heart, leading with one's intuition and one's gut, those emotional, you know, core feelings that Imogen doesn't really deal with all that often. They're starting to sing loud in her mind that, she's looking for their friends specifically. Um, so leaning on that connection with Penny. And also, frankly, leaning on that connection to the church as well, because ostensibly, her uncle is appearing to her as some kind of angelic figure, and that's proving some sort of positive connection. And I think at the core of it all, she doesn't want to piss off the church too much. So I think I'm feeling heart.
Give us a roll.
Okay, let me grab that third die. Wait, here we go. Oh, thank God that I did that third die. Okay, so without the third die, it would have been a 1 and a 6,
Ooh, okay.
which would have been an 8 still.
But that would have
But
been fine.
yeah, but with the third die, I got a 5 and a 6, which is a 13.
Amazing. Amazing. Let me see here. What is Imogen's favorite place? Like, is there a place that Imogen like if Imogen was going to do like a safe space meditation, or if Imogen was going to do like, or if Imogen was asked like, what's your favorite place to be, like, on a college application? What wouldn't be, like, the college application answer, but what would be, like, the real answer?
Hmm. There is this room just past the winding shark tank in the National Aquarium in Baltimore Harbor. Um, that it's dark. It's very dark. But it just has a bunch of like deep sea fish in it. Because like the spiral that goes down the shark tank is supposed to represent like you getting deeper and deeper in the ocean. Um, and I think that's Imogen's favorite place. People don't tend to linger in that space often, but Imogen does. And it's far enough away from everything else going on, at home that, she can afford a little student season pass to the aquarium and still like immerse herself in that like space of knowledge and learning, but it's wholesome. It's fish. It,
Mhm,
you know, they both contain all of the secrets and the multitudes of the universe while doing nothing.
mhm.
And they love it.
You find yourself in this place, and it's kind of, you're not really there, like, that your body is still in the hospital, but it's not a sense of, like, sudden violent displacement, like, you've experienced, I believe you've all kind of at this point experienced some wild mental shit. This doesn't feel like that. This feels like, "Oh, I'm being brought somewhere nice. I'm being shown something nice. I'm being this the message you are getting from this entity is, be not afraid." And you're standing there, and in the tank in front of you, there's a little Dumbo octopus, which I believe that they're one of the critters that we think of as being much bigger than they actually are, because they're I may actually look that up. I don't want to say wrong things about a Dumbo octopus. Uh,
Not on this stream.
not on this stream. Not on
Can't
this
do that
stream.
here.
Can't do that here. Uh, do. Grimpotoothus. Aw. Uh, let's see. Species and taxonomy. Oh, geez, it doesn't tell me anything about how big they are. Um, hmm. Anyway, I'm going to assume that there are like a lot of extreme deep sea
They're small. They're
creatures.
7 to 12 inches.
Okay, okay, so they're not as small as I thought they were, but they're still pretty tiny. There's
Yeah.
not a lot like that's super super big down there. Um, so you see a little Dumbo octopus kind of woobling its way around its little tank, and it sort of it focuses one little eye on you, uh and it says, "Oh, Amber, are you still there?
Oh no,
Oh
we
no.
have temporarily lost
Oh
them.
no.
Oh
It's
no.
the seance portion of the night in which we all
Yes.
try to bring Amber back from the void.
All right, everybody, clap. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. So that
Oh, I
the
remember this one, right?
yeah,
Clap your
yeah,
hands,
from
clap
Peter
your hands.
Pan. Clap your hands, clap your hands.
Oh, oh no.
Oh no, it's not working. It's not working.
We're not clapping hard enough. Audience
Mhm.
clap. We need your claps.
Um, okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I can take us to a temporary break if we want to do that. Uh, Although it looks like Amber will be back in a moment.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Do.
I will take this opportunity to go grab some more water. Be right back in a second.
Please go grab some more. Yeah, take us to a just like we're going to be like 5 minutes. Take us to a temp screen. That'd be great. Thanks, JD. All right, we are back. Technical difficulties and small children have been soothed. We are good to go. Anyway, as I was saying, Dumbo octopus, very cute, very
They're great.
wobbly, has blooped its way over to you and says, "Why have you come here? Not here, the aquarium. I made this for us, but why have you come here to why are you seeking the child?"
Because she's my friend and she's hurt. We're saving her.
I don't I want to believe you. I'm trying to keep her safe. She's in a lot of danger.
How do I know she's not in danger here?
Oh, she is in danger here, but she's in the least amount of danger that I can make. Like,
Then
the danger hasn't stopped. But here I can keep her safe at least from most things.
I'm sorry, but I feel like if Penny were to wake up and not be surrounded by the people who love her and her friends, and she would be in so much more danger than you could have imagined. She needs to know that the people in her life are there to support her.
Is that what you want? Do you want her to know
It's
that
not
you're
about what
here?
I want, it's what Penny needs. What I want is so vastly different than any of this.
What do you want?
It's unimportant.
But I'm asking. Time doesn't really have meaning right now. This is all happening at the speed of thought, this conversation. You don't have to worry about what else is happening in the world. I'm having a lot of conversations at the same time, and some of them are very reassuring, and some of them are less so. And I don't, mm, I don't like I don't want to be here. Language is inelegant. I'm trying to express that I would not be doing this if it were not something that was necessary for the continuation of everything. I'm I would all of us, my siblings would much prefer to let you all handle this. That's kind of what this is for. This isn't the world isn't for me to come in here and do stuff with, right? Like that's not the point. You so what do you want?
I want to know what Penny has to do with all of this.
There's silence. A kind of embarrassed silence.
Hello?
Um a very, very long time ago, I fell in love with a human and we made a child. And that was long term, maybe not a great idea. And
Is Penny half angel?
half, gosh, no, probably not. Well, how much do you know about genetics? I don't know. We don't have time. Basically, you can be more related. Mm, when you look back in a genetic tree, the farther back you go, you have certain pools of consanguinity. You have certain people that you are related to more times than others. She is related to me more times than others. She
Amber's like, this is some Danny Phantom shit.
I've never seen
So
Danny Phantom. I don't know what that means.
fix that. It's only 3 seasons. It's
Okay.
brilliant.
Okay.
But also, Imogen, is this something I would know actually that humans could procreate with angels or probably not?
Uh, I will let you. I'm going to leave this up to a mind roll, and this is not a mind roll that a failure is going to impact a hard move.
Okay.
Like this is just a do you know a fact or not?
Yeah. Cuz like I feel like this could be beyond the pale for what they introduce to high school students, but also
Like I feel like if Jerome were asking, no, this is too weird. But Imogen has had a lot of
There is passing reference to it in the book of Genesis.
there is, but it's also one of those things where it's like, how deep have you read those texts?
I think Amber Logston has read the book of Genesis within the last 20 fucking years.
I mean, it's literally the first one.
In the last 20 years. No.
I don't know your life story, you know? It all takes twists and turns, right?
That's
Some
fair.
of us thought we were gonna go to seminary at one point.
Valid. Okay. Well, I rolled a 10.
Beautiful. Yeah. This is something that you know there's passing references to it in Genesis. You know that there's some talk about like Nephilim, but like, is that like children, like, is that children of angels, or is it just like a word for giants? Is that, there's debate over whether or not this is a thing that ever happened. But it is not a completely unfamiliar concept to you. Um, and the you know deep down, not in quite the same like very physical, very like uh the barriers between you and this angel, your mind and this angel, are far more robust than the ones between Sefer and the angel. So your experience, just to kind of compare what's going on more for Amber and Brendan than for Sefer and Imogen. But what's happening with Imogen is a much less like physiological, like you're not getting the full blast of angelic radiation.
Right.
Um, you've got like zinc oxide sunscreen on, and Sefer is just out in the desert.
I mean that Athenors do not possess the same level of OSHA compliant containment that souls do.
Yep,
Right.
exactly, exactly. So, but like on a very intellectual, like instinctual level, that what the angel is not an octopus, right? You know that. You know this whole place is being given to you as a way to help you understand what's going on. You
Mhm.
also, because of all of that, all of this stuff, you're pretty sure it's not lying to you. You wonder if it can. Uh, but you are pretty sure the environment you're getting here is this this entity does not want you to take Penny. You're getting that vibe. But you're also getting this vibe of like, convince me it's okay. And maybe actually they'll just say that at some point. It's like, I don't want, how can I trust you? What will you do to keep Penny safe?
I would be willing to take her place for any kind of ritual or sacrifice or what have you needs to be done. She has powers and abilities and a connection to the spiritual realm that does not that can't be dimmed. And I'm afraid if we lose her, we lose the light that she brings.
It, I'm trying to keep her away from the people who would sacrifice her. I don't want her to be sacrificed. I haven't taken her because I think she needs to die. I've taken her because she needs to live. The coma, I can't do anything about. I there are limits to my ability to undo human choices. I can make my choice, and that is to keep her safe from those who would misuse the power that is in her veins. I don't want you to die either. And for a moment, you are inside the tank with the octopus, and it like reaches out and touches you. Roll with spirit.
Hold on one second. Apparently, my character sheet did not reopen, which would have been great if I had checked. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
That is an 8.
An 8. When Imogen was very little, she and her parents went to a zoo, like one of those like cage-free zoos. And what they didn't know at the time was that cage-free does not mean fence-free, and doesn't mean electric fence-free. And little Imogen was looking at the giraffes and grabbed a live fence cable, and it wasn't like turned up super super high. It was just high enough to like, so they weren't like electrocuted and like damaged in some way, but it was
Right.
very much like a sudden shock.
Mm.
That's probably the closest experience you have to this creature touching you. It's not painful the way the electric shock was, but the sudden visceral reaction to unknown power is like this entity has been veiling itself very very well, even while it's woobling around. It's sort of woobling around. It's this harmless little octopus in a tank, and suddenly when in contact with it, this is a capital ANGEL angel. And you cannot back away from that. For a single moment, you see in the little black eye a series of eyes. You see just a hint of her true face. But it's gone in a moment, and you're back standing there. And she says, I want to trust you. I wonder if you will be able to trust me. And before you answer, we are going to switch
Shit.
to another. Unless there's anything else you really need to say, to Narrowlean. All right. Bedlam, JD. Who wants to be high?
Yes, please.
Okay, JD, you're high.
I'll take low.
All right. The saint goes high, the demon goes low. And that is a 3. So that puts us with Jerome.
All right. Or what's Jerome experiencing here? How's this hitting him?
Well, Jerome, As I recall, at first you were furious. Your friend was gone. And then you got hit the worst with that wave of psychic get the fuck off my lawn energy. How are you experiencing this right now?
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah. Sorry,
this lead up.
I was curious how the angel was appearing to me. I guess. Yeah, that wrong question. Wrong question.
Yeah.
Not well. I mean, this is an oppressive place. This is not now knowing that there's an angel behind this explains a lot to Jerome. I think
Mhm.
the Jerome knows well from his upbringing that the serenity, the apparent serenity of the church, is not something ever to be trusted, really. And the oppression of the presence of an angel here and the disappearance of Penny seems pretty straightforward. Clearly, this angel is behind this. But how? What is Jerome going to be able to do about this? I think Jerome is up against something that he knows and recognizes is much greater than him. However, Jerome has a patron who is also much greater than him, and I think Jerome would be trying to find advice and guidance from his patron, from Ivy, in a scenario like this. Now, the question of whether or not Jerome would actually be able to contact Ivy in a scenario like this is a good question, and when this would happen, really. So I would say if the angel is trying to contact him directly, the same way that just happened with Imogen, how would this kind of start happening?
Hmm. Well, I think it starts with this in a similar question. What is Jerome's favorite place?
oh, oh, that's a good one. That is a really good one. So he spent a decent amount of time. Have we answered this question before? He spent a decent amount of time in that classroom with Professor Ivy. Now,
Mhm.
is this a place of comfort for Jerome? Is this his like go-to place? I don't I don't think so. I think Jerome's favorite times are when he's walking with Dusty and feeding him toast. And this is usually when he loosens up from his fairly high pressure life for a teenager. What with the trying to capture the impressionable for Ivy. And it is when he talks things out. He talks with Dusty, loosens up. He just the things that he can't tell his friends, the things that he might not be telling his family and Coven. So
Mhm.
maybe just walking down the street in his town, with or without Dusty, I would say. So
Okay. Okay.
oh, the other option would have been great. I did consider that because putting
Yes.
this angel in Ivy's place of power would be phenomenal. I would love to see that. However, you asked where's his favorite place. So we'll go
Yeah.
by that. We'll go by that.
What when Jerome thinks about an angel, like if Jerome has like an image in his head of like what an angel looks like, what
Oh
is that
yeah.
image?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, these caricatures or what have you, these things that these illustrations that we see in like churches with the, serene robes and the white wings. Now that's all crap, right? We know that's crap. They are monstrosities. They are oppressors. They're incredibly powerful and just terrifying,
Mhm.
terrifying. So I think these are closer to the sorts of images that Jerome would conjure. He doesn't know for sure; he hasn't met one before, right? Uh, I mean, the many eyes thing. Everybody knows about all of the eyes. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. That octopus sounded pretty frightening if you put it at scale.
Yeah, that's probably true. The actual one is only about the size of this Yeti mug, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
still not um
Well, yeah. So
so
if you want to go with imagination, I don't know, a many-eyed, many-tendrilled, monstrous thing in space, might come to mind.
right. So Jerome finds himself in the vision of walking next to Dusty. You've got toast in your hand, feeding Dusty toast. You, again, similar, just like with Imogen, you get the sense that this is not this is happening, but you are not in this place. You have not been shunted out of your body in a weird way. This is being built for you. The You feel the angel's presence. You do not see it. But every so often, Dusty turns and accepts toast from someone walking on the other side of him. Similar to Imogen, in order to understand and connect with this creature, this entity, you can roll anything you want, or you can try to reject it. However you want to interact. How do you want
Okay.
to do it? And again, faith and the intellect do not share
Hmm.
space. So if you want to roll with mind, you're going to have to roll that flat. Anything else, you can roll with 3 and take the 2 highest.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna let you know right now, summoning Ivy, trying to summon Ivy would be very interesting in a sort of may you live in interesting times kind of way.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
absolutely.
will let you do it. I just want to say, are you sure you want to pick up the flaming sword? But we
I
can
don't know
do.
about summoning, but certainly looking to for guidance. And if that leads to Ivy believing that she should be or they should be present here, then I'm not. Jerome would not be against that. So anyway, okay. Wait, so even Jerome would absolutely be against communicating with this, and rejection would be his default, his de facto state when it comes to an angel. These are creatures that are at the highest tiers of a church that has shown itself to be absolutely just terrible, right?
Mhm.
Terrifying, terrible. One of the very worst hierarchies ever created, not by mankind necessarily, because these are the angels and these are the ones that cause this. They're not to be trusted, and they should be rejected. And I think he would do that with heart, not mind. This is
Mhm.
not how Jerome operates,
Mhm.
but certainly with heart. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
All right. So you said, wait, 3 dice total?
3
And the
dice
highest two? Okay.
is the highest 2.
I want you to do 3 rolls. Oh, good. One is a 6, and the other one's a 4 and a 1. So we will take the 6 and the 4, and we have a 10, and I have a heart of 2, so that's a 12.
12. Amazing. How do you express this rejection of everything that is to do with this entity? Like, in
Do I
that
realize
moment,
that's who's walking with Dusty?
you understand in this moment, especially with that role, you know that everything to do with this scenario is this angel trying to communicate with you. And the vibe you're getting with that heart roll is someone who this is very, very similar to Ace approaching you with his hands up. Like, it means functionally nothing. The
I
amount
get
of
it.
ways
Yeah.
Ace can wreck your shit with his hands up is all of them. But
Yeah,
it's the same, so
absolutely.
it's the same kind of vibe. This is a being that is very, very powerful. There is no way for it to put down its weapons. But it is approaching with its hands up. It is approaching in as gentle and chill a way as it
Yeah.
possibly can.
See, here's the thing about the church.
Yeah.
and therefore possibly angels, is they always appear that they're coming at you with their hands up and with the best intentions. Strom's not necessarily feeling like this is altruism in its source. I think he wants to pick up Dusty. This is Dusty's very important to him, and this is sort of his own personal well-being. He would like to bring Dusty away from this entity, this creature, this terrifying object of power. And I think he will attempt to reach out and see if possibly he can contact Ivy. He probably should have as soon as he realized that what was happening from when he was told that it was an angel. And yeah, I think he will try and reach out and contact Ivy.
Okay, let me do a quick look see at your character sheet here. So which do you have a move where you can
Yeah, I was looking through because there is where was it? Because it does talk about where was the spot for this? So I don't have it now, not invocation.
There's tendrils in the dark.
Yeah, it says when you seek the guidance of your patron through rituals and portents. So that's where I would need to look for. Is there
but I don't know
any other way to do that? I don't have rituals of or tendrils in the dark. I do not have that. But do I have some? I thought there was some other way in which I could contact my patron.
So let me see.
And if not, then that's fine.
What I will let you do in this case is essentially what you're what you are attempting to do here sounds like you are extending your senses, supernatural or otherwise. In this case, you are just sort of shouting in sort of like you're trying to make contact with someone. So what you're going to do now, because you don't have a move for it specifically, is you can roll let it out. So that's with spirit.
Okay. Yeah, and then if I I'll be marking corruption essentially for this, and that seems to follow.
Unless you get a 10 plus, which you could. But.
And it could be this is how I've ended up with 3 marks of corruption already, is probably to some extent talking with Vibe in the past. I don't know.
Let it out rolls are a thing.
They are. All right. I will definitely let it out because this seems important. I'd also like to note that Ivy owes me 2 deaths, just so we're tracking here.
You can also, I believe, did you take invocation?
No, but that would be very cool.
Okay.
However, no, I did look at that immediately. No, I don't have invocation. I cannot just bring Ivy to me, and I also feel like that would be a much harder thing than just anyway, okay.
Yeah.
What with veils or something and all that. So, all right, rolled with spirit. That's a 5 and 1, so 6. And I have a spirit of 0. That is a 6. That is not good.
So mark corruption.
Yep.
You pick up Dusty. You try to reach out to Ivy. And what do you do? Like, what do you do as you're trying to reach out to Ivy? Like, is there a thing that you
let's say I do attempt to try and shift this kind of location. I'm aware that this is not really where I am, right? And bring myself into the schoolroom where I'd normally have met with Ivy. I think that's the most approachable scenario for Jerome to try and do something here. Maybe he actually starts walking toward the school, like to try and find literally this classroom and go there, and use this as a way to then let it out there, reach out to Ivy in some fashion. So.
Okay. So I think what happens is the world shifts and you are in that classroom. And you are standing there holding Dusty, who is licking your ear, and whose breath smells like toast. And sitting sort of behind the desk is a woman with golden skin, like gold like the metal, and uh gold all over. Gold eyes, gold skin, gold everything. And there's a pair of green wings that kind of hurt your eyes when you look at them for too long. Um, and she's just sort of like, okay, you really want this to be a fight. I'm getting that vibe that you're really kind of trying to go for some kind of like psychospiritual warfare type thing. It's not really my vibe. Um,
We're just here for Penny.
right. For Penny. Um, I can't let her be unprotected.
And it doesn't sound like I'm the one looking for a fight. It sounds like you're the one doing this.
Well, are you, and she kind of like gestures to your all, 14 years of you. Are you better protection than me?
You're the thing she needs to be protected from. So, yeah.
Am I? Like, what do
Yeah.
you think I'm doing
At this point,
here?
Jerome starts like looking around furtively for any sign of Ivy.
You're not
Uh,
you're not getting it. And she's like, "I okay. Mm, you sh- you shouldn't be doing that. That's not going to help. That's
Jerome
a
turns
bad
around and
idea."
leaves the classroom. Absolutely, just is not listening to this angel. This lies dripping in his ears. He is heading toward back to his home to see if he can find any connection there. Back toward his parents' place, back toward his home.
If I were this you're just sort of hearing this as you're walking. If I were actually the manipulative bitch you think I am, wouldn't I have let you think you succeeded? Uh, and that is the hmm. Oh, you rolled.
But yeah, I definitely failed the roll. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
you definitely failed
rereading
the
it like
roll.
this. Yeah, there's
No,
nothing I
you
can
you
get out of that one.
fully
Yeah,
failed the roll to summon Ivy. Fully failed the
yeah.
roll to summon Ivy. Um, the hmm. I'm gonna make a roll for mean here. Mm. Um, yeah, the last thing you get is pretty sure we want the same thing. Penny to be safe. And that's it from you. Uh uh Is there anything else you want to do or say?
No. I definitely succeeded the reject roll, and I'm rolling with that as much as possible. I'm a-okay with ending this conversation.
All right, conversation ended. Yeah. Soren.
Yes.
You What's Soren's favorite place? And what's going through Soren's head right now? After all this last 48 hours, what's happening in your mind?
I'll answer that piece before I talk about Soren's favorite place. But Soren has spent the last several months feeling progressively less and less and less human, and realizing more and more and more that he was never the saint he was made out to be. And now he is faced with an angel that came to Aoife, not to him. No angel ever came to him. And his mind is going all over the place of angels are good, demons are bad. That is, of course, everything he was taught growing up. So, angel here, not necessarily meaning that Penny is in danger. On the other hand, what has an angel ever done for him? And if Penny disappeared and her parents who loved her are panicked, why should he trust an angel? So he is trying to make sense of all of this and is feeling anger progressively building. As much as he can feel anything, right now it is anger, confusion, and anger. But to answer the question, I'm going to go more with what you had asked Imogen. What would be your safe place in a guided meditation? Soren's would be that playground that Penny found him at that night after the library. The place where she ran after him and made him feel like maybe he was not a complete monster. Maybe he could have been something else.
That takes shape around you. Where are you sitting on the playground?
Soren is sitting on top of the highest structure, the place that kids are not supposed to climb up to. He would like to be sitting on the swings, but that does not feel like the place for him right now. Instead, he's up tall where he can see everything.
You also know that this place, like the others, you feel it, that this is a place created by this entity, that this is a a peace a peace offering, a be not afraid, a approaching with their palms open. And you get the feeling that it wants to talk. It wants to communicate with you. How do you, or do you, try to make sense of this, to communicate with this creature? I will also say, well, actually, that's going to depend on what you roll and how you roll it. Yeah.
No, but now I'm curious.
It's going to depend on what you roll and how you roll it. I will say the thing that you feel in this moment is complete, not good. Too much shit has been happening for you to feel good, right? You don't, but what you don't feel is fractured. Your whatever your you is here in this moment. How do you make sense? What tools do you use to make sense of this?
I too am experiencing an internal conflict, but I think I need to go with my first instincts.
Mhm.
And that is that Soren leans into what has become familiar to him. And perhaps even surprising him, despite his extensive knowledge of the Bible, leans on the first story involving angels that comes to mind, namely Jacob wrestling with the angel. And he makes sense of this by engaging in conversation through combat.
Hmm. The angel's form begins to instantiate below you, taking the low ground, giving you a sense of security. What do you do? And then roll. And again, you are engaging in conversation here. You are engaging in some kind of understand, attempting to engage in some kind of I guess actually that's the question. Are you attempting to engage in are you intending this to be connection and understanding? Or are you intending this to be get the fuck out?
Now, Soren is seeing this as connection and understanding.
Okay.
He is meeting this angel as one of God's warriors. That is his logic.
I can dig
And
it.
so I think that manifests by him literally diving straight at the form that is materializing below.
Sick. Sick nasty. Did you roll with 3?
I did. That is still only an 8.
Mixed success, not a failure.
I feel like that also tracks, just given everything. A success, I feel like, would have been a little challenging to come by.
I also feel like this also makes sense because you didn't use your move to just fucking win. You didn't use your I beat you move. You just jump on it. You land on the angel. And you feel I feel like at one point in Soren's youth, doing his little tours, doing his little thing, that at one point you visited some farm where you had to interact with farm animals. I have this image in my head of like young teen Soren being chased by a swan. But I'm going to be honest, this is me. I have an image in my head of a lot of people being chased by waterfowl. That's just kind of my MO.
I mean, that's what they do.
It's what they do.
Do you have a unique waterfowl for like each person? Like,
yeah, I didn't get a goose.
No, it's mostly geese. It's mostly Canada's. I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
It's mostly geese, big honks. But I feel like a swan at one point, a swan that somebody had like brought in to be part of like a display, just like decided that you were like after it or its mate or something and chased you around. And you remember the feeling of a swan's wing like whacking you in the face. Not in the full, like, I'm about to break your skull way, just in that, like, battering you about the head and shoulders, like a big feathery asshole. So you have yet again found yourself in combat with a big feathery asshole. And your punch lands, and you hear it go. You hear it gasp, in kind of in surprise, and but it kind of comes around and like kind of puts you in a headlock. Uh, and you can, but you feel like it. Thorin doesn't have any siblings. But there's an element here of like fighting a sibling where you're almost like you're more evenly matched with this thing than you'd think. Like it gets you into a headlock pretty easily, but do you fight it?
I don't think so. I think Soren just snarls, "Is that what you're doing to Penny?"
What?
You
Gets
heard
off,
me.
loves you. The face you see, you don't really. Actually, that's a question. What do you see? What do you see here? The angel is veiling itself, but it's not veiling itself a ton. Like it is a vaguely the figure you see is vaguely humanoid, but how much of it do you see? Like tell me sort of the slider bar where like 100 is full mind bending angel like Sefer got, and 1 is a Dumbo octopus or a gold lady. Where are you at?
I think for Soren, even though he probably knows well the different ways angels have been described, he always envisions them as they are depicted in classical art. And so I think that is more what he imagines, is that very human figure with wings.
Okay. So you see this kind of again, it's all the body is all in gold. The wings are green. Uh you see there's a halo, the halo sort of floating around their head. They're very androgynous. Long hair, sort of shoulder length hair. Just like, no, no. I'm not putting Penny in a headlock.
Okay, what are you doing to her?
I'm keeping her safe.
Bullshit.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
What do you mean bullshit? What do you know? What do you know? What do you know?
Why are your wings green? Why aren't they white?
I don't know. I don't know. Why is your hair black and not white?
Genetics?
Sure.
Angels don't have genetics.
How do you know?
Okay, we're getting off topic.
Checkmate.
Okay. I am doing a whole lot of very stupid, very inadvisable shit right now. And I'm saying that to somebody who just jumped off a playground structure onto the back of a literal angel. I'm doing a lot of very stupid and very inadvisable shit right now to keep your friend safe from people who want to kill her. Because of a lot of very embarrassing reasons for me personally, I am trying to fix my mistakes and keep her safe. And yes, I know her family is really upset right now. Don't like that. Can't do anything about that. Because all I can do is keep her safe. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing here. That's what I'm trying to do right now. If there is any other way that you guys can try to keep her safer than me, and I really want you to think about what that means, how do we let you do it? Right? It's gonna take fucking convincing. What was that blood roll? You rolled an 8? Okay, yeah. Um, I'm gonna have you roll with. I would like you to roll. You tell me. I'm gonna let you roll. You can roll with heart to kind of understand what's going on here. Sort of read this situation, figure someone out. Or you can just keep on rolling.
No, I think I'd like to try to figure someone out.
Okay, actually, figure someone out with mind, not with heart. Sorry.
This is gonna go. This is, you know what? We're gonna let the dice
Let the dice tell some
express
stories.
what happens.
Yeah. So that's been 2 failures so far. Cool. Mm. Yeah, you don't. You're not. You're not. Well, Hmm. You can uh here's what I'll let you do in this moment. You can make a choice.
I love a choice. I also love the cards in your hand. I'm not nervous about that at all.
Oh, they're actually just this is just my fidget thing. These are for the tablet loom.
That is
Uh
so reassuring.
yeah. Yeah. No, this is just me being a real big nerd and playing with weaving supplies. Uh uh at my desk. Because of Twitch reasons I can't play with knives at my desk. Uh you can accept the failure and have sort of continue having no idea what's going on and sort of accept your failure in this instance. Or you can accept a broader failure, sort of double down, but get more information from Ivy. Let me make this clear. You can accept the failure in this moment and it will just be a failure in this moment. Or you can say, I want to treat this like a success, but bad shit is happening in the world. For all those things that I've left behind in order to be here, something worse is going to happen there.
I'm gonna treat it like a success
Hell
and
yeah.
accept the broader implications of that.
Mm-hmm. Taking a quick note. Cool. She's angry. They're afraid. All of this anger that's being projected towards you, some of it is clearly a meeting you where you're at. Like I feel like Jerome is not sorry. Soren is sort of like emotionally aware enough at a level sort of like good at people enough through his being a saint, his pretending to be a saint days of like understanding the concept of meeting someone where they're at. So you get that a large portion of this like energy that you're getting is meeting you where you're at, but not all of it. Some of it is a very real fear of what will happen if it can't keep Penny safe. And you're also getting this vibe of like, these children have shown up in my house. What the fuck? So that's the kind of vibe you're getting here. And yeah,
And Soren takes that in. And he's pretty sure he knows the answer, but he wants it verified first. So the first thing he asks is, what are you so scared of? And I don't know, why are you so angry at me? I mean, I punched you,
feel like that
but
was
like,
pretty
you're an
obvious.
angel.
Yeah, okay. Getting punched still doesn't like feel great.
Okay, fair.
I ugh, language. I don't want the world to be unmade.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want that either, I don't think.
Mhm. Mhm. Good,
I live
good.
on this world.
Glad we're finding some common ground here. I don't want the world to get unmade. Some people have discovered that there's a way to unmake the world, and they would like to use Penny to do it. There are only a handful of people on this planet that they, at this moment, that they can use to do it, and Penny is one of them. The others are protected in different ways. Penny slipped through the cracks. Like I said, I'm making up for a lot of mistakes.
Okay, so you're trying to stop people from unmaking the world with Penny.
Correct.
All right, maybe that's, a little more common ground. I don't want anything to happen to Penny that would then unmake the world.
Yes. Okay. I mm, you're you're not really mm, dead, are you?
What?
Well, like
Like
you
I died, but like
yeah.
I'm not dead. Am I? You said I wasn't.
No, you're not. You're
Okay.
definitely not. Like I I could talk to dead things. I could talk to dead people, but like it's complicated. It doesn't look like this. What do you want? What is the first thing that goes through your head? Like, not what do you say? We can get to that, but what is the first thing that's that flash that goes through Soren's mind?
I mean, I think in light of everything that has just been said, it is I want to be alive again.
Hey, thanks for the follow. The angel sort of walks around you like in very much the way that like your tailor would like walk around you. Just kind of like sort of looking sort of like critically, but not in a like a judgmental way, just in like a okay, what are we working with here? All right, what are we doing? What are we going on? What's going on here? I mean, it's doable. It's doable. How did you die?
I was sacrificed.
Oh, that's why I couldn't see it.
Couldn't see what.
How you died.
You can't see people when they're sacrificed. That seems like an oversight.
Yes. May I touch you?
Soren hesitates for a long moment. He thinks about the fact that this isn't exactly real, but it's also not real. That he's also walking through the hallways, but he also thinks about Aoife being touched by the angel and just not.
The angel lays its hand on Soren's forehead. And memories flow. This is a very sort of dreamlike thing. You're not re-experiencing the memories, but you know the memories are happening. Like, I don't know if you've ever done like uh if you've ever done like EMDR or like psychedelic assisted therapy or anything like that, where it can be like this really intense experiencing of a thing, but also with that like disconnect, that little bit of disconnect that allows it to be tolerable. Not comfortable, not good, but tolerable. It it's like that. And it's this drawing sensation. And the angel stops. The angel sort of draws back and looks at you and says, just says something you can't quite hear it, and there is an anger in her voice that you have not heard before. And the phrase you hear that you are left with in a language that like burns a little bit is the sins of God. How will you keep Penny safe? How does Soren think he will keep Penny safe? That's what this angel wants to know. You have this moment of connection where everything is sort of flowing from you to the angel. How will you keep Penny safe? If this angel recedes and lets you do it, how will you keep Penny safe?
And I think the answer Soren gives is by spilling as much blood as I have to.
This connection goes two ways. What do you want to try to draw from the? I will let you try to draw something from Angel. You can pull. Yeah, you didn't roll good enough blood for this. But you did choose two failures, essentially, earlier. So I'll let you draw one thing. You can roll again if you want to draw another. You can pull one thing from this angel. What is the what's the most important thing that you feel like you want to draw? You want more information on, you want more understanding on.
I think in this moment, selfishly, what Soren goes for is wanting to draw an understanding of why this angel came to Eva and not to him.
You see generations and generations back, before the maps looked like they do now, the continents were pretty much in the same spot. Madagascar was closer to uh, the mainland mass, but Bering Land Bridge, that sort of thing. But everything was more or less in the same shape. There was a woman, and there was an angel, and they were in love. And that woman bore a child. And then that child had children, and then those children had children, and that bloodline kind of continued. And some of those children had wondrous powers. Some of them didn't. Some of them lived relatively ordinary lives. And they sort of spread across the face of the earth. And as these things happen, some of those children's children, as the bloodline sort of watered down, met one another. And they start to see sort of moments where people have sort of multiple instances of this bloodline in their family tree, kind of accumulating in certain ways. And one thing that Soren realizes about angels is that they are governed by rules that they cannot break. One of them is that they're really, really not supposed to interfere with humans. Partially because of shit like this, right? You kind of get the vibe that Nerylnean's choices, and the choices of a couple other angels, Nerylnean was not the only one, kind of got this to happen. You see, from this lineage, from this angel's lineage, there were 4 people who had enough of her in them for her to influence. Penny, Aoife, and uh, Maddie and Kit Warwick. And so you learn in this moment, she didn't reach out to you. Not because she didn't want to, but because you just And maybe this hurts even more. I don't know if this isn't maybe this isn't comfort all that comforting, because ultimately the reason is just you weren't one of the people she could touch until now, until she did this big stupid thing.
And I think that is maybe manifested in Soren's response as he takes that all in, and this is the way he puts the pieces together. Because he looks at her with a mixture of sadness, and that is directed at her, but also with anger that is not directed at her, and says, so, you know, God or whatever wouldn't let you interfere unless you were touching one of your own.
I mm, I break reality the way a big rock breaks the surface tension of water. Aspects of just physical locality start to decay the longer I'm just sort of like here. Um, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing this. I Yeah. So, long story short, yes, and I don't necessarily think it's wrong to do so.
No, I mean that's fair. I I get that. But also, you get a chance to talk to the big man on the throne. Give him a message from me. Fuck God.
Mm, I will. I I am a divine messenger. I will pass on the message.
No shit, really?
Mm, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
Make sure you tell him I said it.
Yeah, I will. I You all came here as a group, and you all are hearing a version of this message in this moment. I'm not I'm I'm barely an individual. I'm not human. I'm talking to you like a human right now. I'm not one. And this is very much what I think Soren and Imogen are hearing. I'm not sure Jerome's hearing much of anything other than maybe like a all right, fucking talk it out amongst yourselves, I guess. Um and I think Sefer is hearing something much more like right right there. Um but what the pair of y'all get is you all came here as a group. You came here with the goal to protect your friend. I respect that. And I want to do that too. I would like you to help me do that. I would like to help you to do that. You have to decide how that's going to be. I superseding human choice is kind of the biggest wrong I can commit.
Oh, then you should give us Penny.
You decide. And the presence recedes from you, and you are back in that hallway. A door opens in the hallway, sort of down the hallway from you. A door opens, and you see kind of like a soft golden, sort of golden greenish light, again reminiscent of Nerylnean's wings coming through that door. When you go in there, you see a hospital bed, IVs, with Penny in the bed. We are going to go on a very brief break. Let's call it 10 minutes, and then we will come back. Sound good? Okay. So we're back. The uh the series of teenage monsters and also Imogen have found their way to the hidden room where the angel Nerylnean was keeping Penny safe, and have negotiated their way into that room to determine whether or not to leave Penny under the angel's protection or do what they can to protect Penny themselves. The angel has told you what it's sort of trying to do here and why it's trying to do that, or it has tried to tell you those things to those of you who were willing to listen. And now you can sort of choose whether or not you're going to trust it.
Clearly not. I mean, what? No. Jerome just starts walking in the room.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in his mind that this angel is simply saying things to try and manipulate us, to try and get us to weaken us, to keep us from actually being able to protect Penny. And the fact that they have a rule that they were bound to, apparently, that they cannot break is music to Jerome's ears, and figures everybody's probably on the same page with him. He doesn't really stop to think about it and just starts walking into the room.
You can all walk into the room. Your way is not barred. You can all go in. Penny's vitals are listed. If any of you have, none of you really have all that much medical background, I don't think, but from what you've seen on movies, it all looks fine. The heart rate is doing the beeping thing. She looks sallow, and like she hasn't had solid food because she hasn't. But she's alive. All the monitors seem to be monitoring. Nothing is a flat line, which is probably good.
I think when Jerome actually sees Penny, he's filled with an unexpected relief, that she actually seems to be here, and okay, and yeah. I think Jerome pauses for a moment, letting this relief kind of pervade, and then And then starts trying to figure out how to like get the bed out of there. It's probably on wheels. It's probably a hospital bed. Like, is there any way to get it out of there? And then he starts trying to figure out, like, obviously doesn't really know this stuff, and is starting to look at like, okay, what things are connected to what, and like how, starts trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you can start doing that. It's not it's obvious that you don't really know what you're doing. It's not like super well like labeled or anything. This is just a hospital bed. You do kind of see like on the side like there's instructions for how to like raise it up and lower it down, but there's a lot more instructions to saying like just call a nurse. Um but yeah, you can push it away from the wall. But then you do the comedy of errors thing where you push it away from the wall, but the IV thing like isn't moving with it. The monitors are still connected. It takes you a minute, and the rest of you are also all still there. I imagine like this is happening in the real world.
Jerome, we at least need a plan before we do this.
I mean, she looks okay. Right now,
Does
we
she?
just need to. I mean, okay, not okay, but she's not dying, and we should at least get her out of here. We need to get her out of here.
Okay,
this is
like,
not where she's supposed to be.
I don't necessarily disagree that we need to get her out of here.
I mean, just even a different hospital or something.
I don't.
I mean, is that going to be enough to like hide her from like an angel?
I don't know, but I know what this place feels like, and it's not good.
No, I feel like I've kind of got like a like a sunburn, but on like the inside.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it just, there has to be a better place than here, and we can figure that out when we get her outside. Like we can figure it out as we go. But like this seems like something we should be doing quickly while we have the opportunity.
I don't think we're gonna be stopped if we take a minute.
All right, but what are we stopping for? Like Jerome stops and he's facing Soren. Like, then what are we stopping for?
Figuring out where we're going to take her, figuring out a place that is defensible, and making sure we don't hurt her in the process. I don't know anything about medical equipment and IVs and all of that, but I definitely don't want to find that out because we did the wrong thing and suddenly
all right.
she's crashing. Like,
okay, is there? I mean, all we have to do is make sure we don't take anything out that's in right now, right? Like we just can all of this roll with it? Can we just wheel it?
I have a thought. Can I try to talk to the beep boops?
You can talk to the beep boops.
Let me try to talk to the beep boops.
You've got a move that lets you talk to beep boops.
I do have a move that lets me talk to the beep
Jerome is a-okay letting Sefer in there.
All right, let me try talking to the beep
way
boops
more about these things.
All right.
I mean, if there's anybody here equipped to talk to the beep boops, it's
all of you can talk to the beep boops.
It's a question whether the beep boops will talk back or not.
The beep boops will not talk back to most of you.
Listen, Imogen has tried,
just
and
like
it's
the rocks
only
in my yard.
Imogen has tried, and it's Mr. Krabs from that one episode of SpongeBob. Beep boop boop bop. Beep boop bop. It's very that.
I got an 11.
An 11 to talk to the beep boops.
Yeah.
All right, beep boop bop. What? Where's your? I don't know why I didn't. I half the time I forget to open any of y'all's sheets.
Well, which admittedly I realized that course, but I decided I was going to do this. I forgot that I have some like fairly like specific. I guess I can try to
tell me what
the questions.
You try to judge the questions a little bit. I'm again, we're trying to tell a story here.
I guess what Sefer's trying to get a sense of is basically, um, so these machines, they are fairly limited in their scope and their function, but I'm gonna assume that they understand enough of their purpose that like they are measuring things in like, and they're supposed to make noises when things are bad.
Mhm.
Um and they probably know roughly where things are in comparison to being bad.
Mhm.
Um amongst the various things, how close is Penny to being bad?
Everything seems the problem you have, Penny's heart function seems fine. Her lung function seems fine. Her brain function is abnormal. Um, when you yes, it sounds like you're kind of going through the various monitors and asking them what purpose do you serve? And how's it going?
How's it hanging?
How's
How's
it
it going,
hanging? How's that purpose
buddy?
like doing? And as you're asking that question, so
Cool, no doubt, no doubt.
heart and lungs are fine. Pulse ox, okay. Uh, EEG, weird. You're not brain death. You're not
Mhm.
looking at brain death, but she's not waking up. And you're having moments
But
of
it's not good, bro. It's
it's
not
not
good.
good.
It's not good, bro.
It's not the worst it could be, but it's not
It's not
great.
good, bro.
The one thing that you're worried about, the thing that's going to cause her to be the worst, that will cause things to go bad, is the IV fluids and the feeding tube. You see there's a connected, like right here, going into sort of plugged into her. Uh, uh, what's this one? The pyloric sphincter at the top of the stomach,
Sure.
basically at the top of the stomach. There is a direct there's a feeding port going into. Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the one at the top of the stomach, and I think the one at the bottom of the stomach is a different sort of sphincter.
The different sphincter. Yeah.
I
It's a
believe
different
it
Yeah.
sphincter.
is.
No, no.
There's
The
so
pyloric
many.
is turns out pyloric is the at the bottom. The top is the esophageal
Esophageal
sphincter,
sphincter.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess that makes
esophageal,
sense.
Okay, so it's a
There are so many sphincters in our bodies.
Oh
they're a
yeah,
really
sphincters are very
efficient.
useful.
I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, we're all just a donut in the
I'm
end.
I'm every so often, this is a total sidebar. Every so often I get really mad at my past self for just having like a little mini like shit fit when you were running that weird meat campaign Bedlam. Like I that
Oh
was such a
yeah,
cool concept, and for whatever
biopunk
reason,
sphincters everywhere.
biopunks, there are
Really,
so
yeah.
many sphincters in that game. It was such a good concept. And I was not in the right brain space for it, and I'm sad about that. So if you
There's
ever want to return,
a lot of imagery in that. Yeah, I'll have to pick that one up again.
yeah,
It was, yeah.
I would love to revisit that one. Anyway,
So esophageal
so
sphincter, feeding
yes,
tube,
feeding. So she's got a
IV.
feeding tube.
That's the main thing because she's not waking up, so she can't
Yes, she
feed
can't eat,
herself.
she can't drink.
So
Her heart
right.
appears like it's gonna keep doing what it's doing. Lungs appear like she's gonna keep breathing. Heart's gonna keep beating. Her brain's gonna keep clicking along. But without she does appear to have a she's cathed. Um, but uh so you would have to deal with that. But the things that will become problems quickly is the IV and the feeding tube because she can't do those things herself.
I will relay this information to the best of my ability. to my comrades.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay, then
that's this seems like
Oh,
that's pretty much where we're at.
the vibe also that you are getting from the machines is that since coming here, because it's been um since coming to this place, because it's been like a day,
Something in that general
yeah,
area. Yeah.
since this happened, um they the IV has not run out, nor have
Mhm.
the food, nor has uh the the food
Yeah.
bags.
Yeah. It is self-sustaining in these confines.
Right.
Yes. Um Soren, no, not you. Uh Imogen, you know. Sorry. You just didn't roll. You had a
No,
great
it's fair.
conversation. You did
it's
not
it's
roll high enough, unfortunately.
it's okay. Soren's used to being passed over.
It's true.
Passed over by Nerylnine.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's your tragedy. Angel mommy, uh, Angel senpai never noticed you. Sorry. Imogen,
Okay.
you know in this moment that if you take her out of this place, even if you take her out of this place, those things will not be taken away. Soren,
Like the protections will
the
not
protections,
be.
the protections, the you are not going to have to somehow source new IVs or new food. This miracle of the replenishing fluid and the replenishing food is a sustained miracle that will continue even if you remove her from this place. The power of the angel is going to stay on these things. Soren, you know from your conversation and what you know of shedding blood, there was a much easier way to do this. If all the angel really wanted was to protect the world, would have been a lot easier to kill her. Then no one could have used her blood to do anything. But that so yeah, that's what you guys are left with.
Um, so did Sefer explain to us kind of what they got, right? Right. So yeah, I mean, Jerome's just gonna kind of keep doing the thing because sounds like this is fine if we just keep the things that are stuck in her, still stuck in her. We can
Well,
move
that
her,
was
right?
at least one very important data point that we did need to get answered. It doesn't necessarily answer some of the other ones, but it does at least resolve one significant data point. So we're that much further to uh, a solution. Um, and that's kind of all the further I got.
Hey, hey, Della.
Mhm.
Um, would would Penny herself count as an arcane object?
We're just gonna keep asking this about literally every member of the party.
What are you trying to do?
Uh, I'm trying to appraise an arcane object so that I can figure out some rumors or lies about this object's value, secrets or powers that the object contains. I want to know more about this object or its powers, and or I would enjoy knowing who would want to possess this object.
What indeed are the phenomenological limitations of object versus subject?
So
When one
Penny
is in
do
a
a shit right now.
when one
here's
is in a coma, do they move from being figuring someone out too, being an arcane item.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that moment is brain death, and she is not brain dead.
Okay. All right.
That's my uh
I'm not looking to renegotiate Terry Schiavo, not in
yeah.
2024.
No, we don't need to do that. Um what I will say to you though is if you want to know who wants the person who's trying to keep her safe is still technically here, has withdrawn to let you guys consult with one another, but like you could just ask. You could just ask Nerylnine.
Um, I
If
think Imogen just turns around to face away from the party and in the general direction that they would imagine this angelic being in. Imogen turns around and just asks Nerylmine, who would want to sacrifice Penny?
the voice comes over like the call box in in the bed, like that would call up to the nurses station, and
Mm.
have the nurses call back through. Um, and it's pretty staticky, and so it's a little garbled. It's hard to really ascertain like who's calling.
Mhm.
Um, it winds up kind of just sort of sounding like someone trying to sound like a famous actor, like doing an impression of an actor. Um, and they're called the Orphans of the 11th Night.
The Orphans of the 11th Night.
After the plagues in Egypt, after the 10th plague in Egypt, there were certain parents who were unable to tolerate the loss of their firstborn child and committed suicide. The For that further sin, the angel of death would not visit their homes again.
Mm.
The second, third, and fourth children were cursed with immortality.
Huh. Cursed with immortality.
There are those who would pull down the universe for the chance to die.
S- So, what does Penny's existence have to do with keeping the universe intact?
It's not her existence. She's the blood of angels. She is part of her is what made this. Part of her can be used to unmake this.
Got it. Can the rest of the party hear this conversation?
This is not being hidden. This is all audible.
Okay.
You do all get that feeling though of that like a very large person is right behind you, breathing down your neck again.
Sefer
Again,
Sefer has
unstopping.
fished out one of those like lead aprons that the X-ray techs use, and is kind of just trying to kind of like wave it in front of them.
Jerome never stopped trying to continue disconnecting everything unnecessary. I think for Penny, and he would say over his shoulder, "I don't have to tell you the truth, you know."
Although actually, strictly speaking, I think that they I don't know if it's so much an issue of them having to tell you the truth so much as them being not capable of falsehood.
I mean, I mean, that's fine though. They can mislead us as necessary. They're angels. They're in a giant power struggle. They're gonna tell you whatever to get them to do. To get you to do what they want. It's just, this is how they've always done it.
Oh, all angels have autism?
Absolutely, it is known. Soren, I will
The
say,
angelic spectrum.
is
I
standing.
really, really like trains. I'm the angel of transportation. They're just neat.
I mean, fair enough.
They're just good. They're just neat.
Brutal.
That does not
No,
happen.
we're
That
going to
absolutely
lose
does not
supper. We
happen.
can't lose supper to this.
I just think they're neat.
I just think they're neat. They're just so cool.
Trains are cool, but that is.
Do you want to see my trains?
You want to see my trains?
That's why
It was
I
all
insist on
worth
taking.
it for the trains. Yeah, no, that does not happen. But
That's
Damn
a
it.
shame.
yeah, sorry.
Damn it! Why can't the Nephilim enjoy trains?
Nothing stops the Nephilim from enjoying trains.
Yeah.
Just Nerylene is not going to. Nerylene does not, outside of like these kind of like semi-real mental spaces.
We can
Sefer,
assume we can just assume that Nerylene is really into trains.
is really into trains.
It's
Sefer,
known.
It is known. Angel of transportation. They gotta be into trains.
They can sense a fellow rail fanner.
They're not. I mean, kind of in some ways, as kind of the divine essence of like locality and transportation. They're not a train themselves.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, if they're a fan of moving things from point A to point B, trains are the best way to move a lot of things on land. I mean,
boy, do I have news for you.
So, Sefer, what you know in this moment is that the reason you're getting kind of this tinny, garbled voice through this thing, and you're still getting that psychic presence. Nerylene is trying really, really hard to act as little as possible. This is kind of one of these things where it's like bull in a china shop, but bull that is very aware that it is in a china shop and trying not to break any of the china.
Yeah. Trying really, really hard not to look at the exact position of the electron.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So yeah, no, there's not, this repartee does not occur because
but we can assume. Okay, God. So Penny's mitochondria are load bearing. Cool. We got that. All right. So I guess it's just kind of like it's the where. Then I guess
It's not just the where. I have a question for Nerylene.
All right, I'm just gonna kind of like just find like a corner. I'm just gonna kind of just like make a little lead lean to.
Yeah, do what you need to, Sefer. Do what you need to.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. There's not much I can do
Look,
about
no,
that.
it's not your fault. It's just, I'm
Are you
just
sure
built.
it's not their fault?
I'm just, no, I'm just built different.
Not my fault.
I'm the
So,
oh,
did we just lose
Oh,
JD?
we just lost
Raggy.
Uh-oh.
JD.
That could be.
It's a pro move. He's building suspense.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Everybody take note.
Oh,
Isn't JD the
no.
one
Have we
running the
lost? Have we
stream?
lost the stream? Is the
Oh, yeah.
question.
Well, I
Well,
still
that's the
It
funny
see.
looks
thing.
like the
We
stream
still
is still
seem to have the
going.
stream. Yeah. Hey
Okay.
there.
Did you
Okay.
No,
unplug
we-
your computer with your toes?
I did not. I did not. But my computer suddenly Video Ninja was like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Heck.
All right. What was your question for?
Yeah, Soren looks as much as he can towards them and asks, how long until your presence here irreparably damages the world?
The more I interact with human minds, humans, yourselves, the harder it gets. You and Sefer are a little more shielded, so I have more time. But I can probably hold out for a year or so if I'm not actively interfered with. I would hope that it would not be necessary for longer than a week. I don't want to keep her away from her family.
You should probably just go then. Trump continues working.
Soren is standing in the doorway so that Jerome cannot make a quick exit with Penny.
Okay. I'm okay. Imogen just wants to do everything possible to follow through on the promise she made to make sure Penny's safe and make sure Penny is going to a place where she won't be a target. So if that means helping out Jerome unplug everything and find a way to transport her body, even if we steal a gurney, fine.
I mean, she's pretty much in a gurney, right? Or, I mean, mobile bed. It's got wheels or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a hospital bed. It's fine.
Hospital beds are mobile.
Yeah. I don't know if they fit in elevators.
Hospital elevators.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the weirdest wheeled thing that Imogen has interacted with in the last day. So
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that you vocalized, Amber or Imogen rather. But
they did. They vocalized okay, I'll help you out, Jerome. We have similar, goals here, but
yeah, all I know is she's a target here.
Right.
And
she's a target regardless of where she is.
Only if you believe this voice on the speaker. Only if you believe what they're telling you, and I don't have any reason to, because otherwise the end game of that is that she is best remaining here, and I don't accept that. This place is oppressive. It's dangerous, and these are monsters.
And hospitals give me the heebie-jeebies.
The only way I'm walking out of here with Penny is if all of you are prepared to help protect her.
Of
If
course, yeah.
if you're thinking that we're just going to drop her off somewhere else and leave her, then
No, no.
I'm not here for that. And I'm not
I,
going to let
I,
that happen. But if you're
I only
saying that,
said,
if you're saying, I mean, it's one of two things, Jerome. One is this angel is telling the truth and Penny's in danger, in which case we need to consider the benefit of her staying here. Or we what? Say that the danger isn't there and present?
no, it is. It's definitely there. It's just, I know she's in danger because she was being held hostage by an angel. Regardless of where it's coming from, there is a danger, and we need to protect her. And I'm 100% on board. We need to keep her safe and protect her. I just think we might disagree on from what, and that's
Jerome,
fine so long as she's safe.
if the angel wanted to kill her, she'd be dead.
Proposal. What if we kept Penny in the archives?
Oh, I mean, she needs care, right? That's why I mentioned a different hospital. I mean, clearly she needs care.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I was just thinking it would be very, very difficult for somebody, I mean, not very, very difficult, nigh impossible for somebody who is not affiliated with the archives to break in there.
No, I'm good with that option. If we're
Do we
taking
know
her
a
somewhere, I'm
do we
good
know
with
a
that being an option.
doctor or a nurse or somebody that could take care of her?
We have a brain on wheels
wait, that's who
who
you
is a
trust?
doctor.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Not so sure I'm good with this option.
Yeah, that's sort of a
Valid.
frying pan fire situation, possibly. Ooh.
If we're gonna do that, why not leave her with the angel?
That's fair.
Jerome vehemently disagrees with that line of thinking, however, sees what you're doing and doesn't say anything. So where do we bring her then? Sefer, do you have any ideas?
I, uh, I'm kind of torn, honestly. Um, I absolutely want to keep Penny safe, and I'm prepared to do that. You know, myself. Like, I mean, anybody wants to mess with and any of my friends, really. I'm gonna mush them down big style. But I, ah,
Mm.
but there's so much also that's going on where I don't know that we can be by her side constantly. And this does seem pretty safe on the one hand, but also we were able to get here. So I don't know.
Sefer, you're shielding yourself from this presence behind a lead wall. I
Well,
don't know if it
that's okay,
counts
but
as
that's
safe.
because because my Athenor is not OSHA compliant is really just kind of really the whole thing there. It's not because it's just the nature of what it is. You guys have like an ozone layer around your soul. I don't have one of those. I'm just
I
getting
mean, I
the
might not have a soul.
Okay, but like
not enough time to unpack that.
what if
I know for a fact that I don't. And what I've got instead, it's just starting to blister. So
Jerome tries not to picture the violence that he recently saw Soren inflict upon the children of Adam. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. What if we brought her back to the church, the snake church?
Absolutely
No.
not.
no,
I'm
no,
not
I don't
trading
no, I don't think
angels
that's a
for
great idea.
demons.
I don't know
I'm
how
not saying
I don't know that
I'm
I
not
love
saying
that.
we keep her there. The thought is we need to find somebody who has the experience to take care of her in some kind of a facility, and so I'm looking for resources to try and
No.
find out more.
That is
Okay.
not a resource.
I just don't know that we're gonna, I don't know, find a bigger stick than the one that is hovering ominously behind all of us right now.
I think that's who we should be protecting her from.
Back up. Stella,
Mm.
weren't members of the Snurch the ones that wanted to sacrifice her in the first place? In that vision that I saw?
Mhm. Well, you saw a member of Snurch walking in with Ace, who, in the vision you saw, did sacrifice your uncle.
Jerome, with all due respect, putting Penny in Snurch is literally taking a sheep to the slaughter.
Well, wait, why? Like, that's what I feel like here is.
One, it's Snurch.
What? No, I mean, okay. I mean, they have a bad reputation, I guess, but like Ace is a really good guy.
Also, I have reason to believe members of the Snurch killed my uncle. So, I mean,
Wait, what?
that's something I'm contending with.
No,
So,
wait. What do you mean? Like, that's. I don't think they would do that.
I didn't think Barney the dinosaur could properly teach me my ABCs, and yet here we are.
Okay, but like, okay, wait. No, like, what? How do you know that?
Don't you have a ghost pal that tells you secrets?
I'm sorry, what now?
I think I think we are going to wrap here because it seems like we're kind of going we're kind of going around a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's getting late, and I think we're all going to get punchy.
Aw, I thought we.
I
What?
know.
Oh no, I thought we were uncovering some big truth here.
Oh,
but
we
yeah.
absolutely are going to be uncovering some big truth, and I think that's a really excellent big truth to
In 2
open
weeks.
up next session with. Partially because I do love that ending hook of "Don't you have a ghost who tells you secrets?" That's just a really lovely stinger.
Soren does. Sefer is
Yeah.
fun. No, I'm.
My fox is not a ghost. My fox is a fox.
It's true.
Just a fox.
My fox is an awesome fox. He reigns from foxhole below.
I guess I kind of have a ghost that tells me secrets in the form of a professor in the middle of a schoolroom in my dreams. But yeah, no, Jerome's not actually saying this. I'm just...
It's true.
That's normal. That's a normal thing to have happen.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. So, yeah, we will pick up here next session, which is going to be, I believe, Monday, September 9th at the usual time. And yeah, so let's take us out.
No outros tonight, Della?
Yeah, oh no, we can do outros. All right, everybody, let's tell everybody where we are at and where we can find you. Amber, would you like to begin?
Yes. Sorry. I keep thinking I'm seeing glitter in my hair because I probably there probably is. Hi everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber, and I am a 3-time Emmy nominated, 1-time Emmy winning TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer. And I'm so covered in glitter at all times that my partner, when I visit him, says it's not a real Amber visit unless I leave with glitter. So anyway, I have been losing my marbles, but also I've been Imogen Warwick, your scholar, your little question asker, your little guy. You can find me nowhere. Don't come looking for me until I decide I'm ready to. So, bye.
We love to see a firmly set boundary. Don't find them.
Don't find me. I won't be in Chincoteague this weekend. Don't come find me looking at the ponies.
It's a good place to look at ponies. Next year's the 100-year anniversary of the pony penning.
Wild.
It's true. It's true.
Live
Anyway,
from the pony penning
huh?
apocalypse. Oh, I said live from the pony penning apocalypse.
That would be the most like specific thing we could do. I'm kind of tempted to find a system to run a weird horse girl Misty of Chincoteague game. Anyway,
Bella, I need to be at this table. Like, you can't run that without me.
Yeah, that might have to happen. I'm gonna find something. Anyway, thank you, Amber, for reminding me of this. And next we have Bedlam.
Hello, Amber. It's okay that you lost your marbles because that's actually our second Hook reference for the night, right? That and clapping for Tinkerbell. Which actually you weren't here for. I forgot about that. Yeah. But anyway, I'm Bedlam. You can find me again here on Thursday for Never Ember's Enigma. Here, and those are the two games I'm in. So you can find me here at LFTA occasionally, where I will be playing both this character and Brindle Fallow, just a farmer in the city. And that's it.
So normal. Nothing nefarious. Brendan.
Meowdy rowdy, everybody. Hi, it's me, Brendan. I was playing Sefer. When I'm not playing Sefer, I am playing Alex Sandowski, aka Victory, over on Academy H, our Audioverse Award nominee and finalist, Masks Actual Play podcast. That is every other Sunday. I also have run 2 seasons now of Cryptid Community College, a Monster of the Week actual play podcast. The second season of which should be dropping in finished podcast form very, very soon. Just in time for fall spooky season. Also, I am the story director at Dystopia Rising Maryland. If you are of the LARPing persuasion, we've been on a brief hiatus. We got some stuff figured out, and we are going to be relaunching in, I think, exactly 1 month's time. If you like running around the woods and hitting people in zombie makeup with foam swords.
Ooh, and who doesn't love that? And last but certainly not least, JD.
JD is reminiscing about LARP because it has been so very long since I last got to experience that. God, okay, I'm not going to go through my entire schedule. I'm not going to subject anyone to that. It is too late. Places you can find me as this week goes on, I will be with Lost Caravan for Nova, which is our Cypher System campaign that's currently in space. I will also be here for Never Ember's Enigma with a couple of the other members of this table, where I play Riv, who has done nothing wrong ever in their life and is making the best decisions. And then I can be found with Entropy Emporium on Saturday for our Invisible Sun actual play, Blooming in the Rot, where I just play a little guy full of demons, and it's a normal time. And last but not least, you can find me back here for a second, third, I don't know how math works and how calendars work, but I'll be back here on Sunday for Academy H, our Masked actual play, where I play a little guy who likes to manipulate bones. All normal times. Yeah, that is it for me.
JD just likes to be a little guy.
I do.
Doing nefarious stuff. I have been the GM. I have been everybody else. Mostly today, I have been an angel who's just trying to just, I don't know, get these people to believe it. It doesn't really matter what they believe at a certain point. Uh, the You can find me here the second and fourth Mondays running this wonderful game. You can also find me on this channel on Thursdays, where I am playing a haunted house of ghosts who goes by the name of Rachel Blauhair. Actually, I'm two people right now, aren't I?
You
Oh
sure
no.
are.
Oh no. I made the bad choice last game. In Redacted. I can also be in Never Ember's Enigma, where I'm playing a dark academia visual novel. These two are playing completely different games from me. Um, and that is that. I hope you have enjoyed this fabulous evening, and we will see you all in 2 weeks. Um, JD, is there anyone we have to raid?
There is. I'm going to bring us over to raid our friends over at Tales from the Table Studios, where they are in the middle of doing a mutual aid fundraiser for a very well beloved member of the TTRPG community, Drake. And so stop by, say hi to them, and if you are able to donate, definitely do what you can to help them and their family out during this time. So I'm going to take us to the thanks for watching screen, and then we will pop over there. And as always, I like to invite the entire cast and Della, our storyteller, to say good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, everyone.